Hey, I'm Chris. Welcome to Capturing Chris, my testing grounds for new ideas in travel, photography, and exciting destinations, one frame at a time. Hey everyone. So it's Tuesday and had the Stand Store Challenge training with Gary yesterday. Gary V. And he gave us a couple of things to do. If you follow the channel, you probably saw a short come up that was showed the fall and also talked about my Stand Store, the fact that I'm doing coaching for how to start a YouTube channel, as well as how to coaching on how to take better Airbnb pictures. And then I have a tiny offer for $19.99, improve your Airbnb listing in a weekend. So, and that was one of the things he focused on yesterday, was to get your Stand Store in order. So once you start using the Stand Store, you gotta fill out all the social media information correctly, as well as you got to start driving traffic to Stand Store from social media posts. So he was saying you need to do at least 50 posts before you can really decide if it's working for you. Hello. Before you can really decide if it's working for you or not. And just doing one post isn't going to cut it. So I'm using Opus clips, and I'm getting ready to, I did a try on that one. I like how it cuts everything down. It also changes the ratio automatically for me. So if I'm doing Instagram, if you're posting to Instagram, you can't use the 9:16 format, because it doesn't fit. You have to use 1:1. Also, the 1:1 works pretty well with LinkedIn. Now, LinkedIn Shorts, you should use the 9:16 format. So there's a lot to learn about it. But I posted 7 shorts last night. Scheduled some of them out, and I'm getting ready to post to Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, as well as LinkedIn, YouTube, and YouTube Shorts. So we'll be driving traffic to our Stand Store. We should have 50 videos in by the end of the week. Probably going to do at least 14 a day. I just gotta make them and then sit down and schedule them, which is where a scheduler comes in really handy. So I'm gonna evaluate which scheduler I'm going to do, and I need to evaluate, is my money best spent? I know I need Opus clips to make the long videos short, and to really get good descriptions and all that kind of great stuff. But on the scheduler, I'm almost thinking I could do that myself, but it's just going to take some time. It's whether or not I want to spend the time to do it. As you get old, it seems we're always having this battle with time. And because it's the one thing you can't really replace or get more of. October 17th is coming up. And I consider the October 17th kind of my death day, because that's the night I had my accident where I got hit on going 60. And the guy that hit me died. And if I wasn't driving a Lexus, I probably wouldn't be here right now. I wouldn't be walking as well as I am, sure. that thing really protected me in a major way. So, and when you go through something like that, you realize that time is precious and short, so you want to make the best of all of it. Did go to the oral surgeon yesterday, and he tells me this area here and this area here is still pretty swollen, and he wants me to put a warm compress on it 3 or 4 times a day for the next 2 days. And if that swelling doesn't go down, that fluid, he's gonna have to drain it. And I guess the reasoning is, which I don't want. So I'm highly inspired to follow his directions and try and use a warm compress 3 or 4 times a day to get this thing down. But a friend of mine was explaining to me, you know, your body is really using a lot of energy to resorb that liquid down. And yeah, you might be able to get it on your own, but it's going to take away from other things. And you might notice the lymph is a little more pronounced today. I stepped on a shell that went into my foot at the beach on Sunday, and that got infected, and the doctors are all freaked out because of this bacteria that's floating in the water, that flesh-eating bacteria shit. So I had to get on antibiotics. It's a pain in the ass. But I think if I hadn't had this fall, my body would have reacted to the shell on the foot a little bit differently, and I wouldn't have had to go to the foot doctor. But that's what happens when you get older, I suppose, or when you have an injury. You can see the deer out today. We're learning because we have a limited idea of how to successfully do it. Now, I'm on video 38 now, so I'm getting better. My flow is getting better. My talking points are getting better. My way I hold the camera is getting better. I mean, it's not easy holding a water jug, a leash, controlling the dog, and taking care of my phone, and holding the selfie stick. I'm not saying that as a poor me thing. I'm just saying if I had another hand, it'd be helpful. But I don't. We don't have free hands. So I work with what I have, and I do the best I can, and I find innovative new ways to do things. And I learn from my mistakes, hopefully, so I don't make the same one over and over again. But I keep going, and I always keep trying. You know, I sent my son the short. He's 27. I worry about him. He's kind of finding his way. Works hard, has my work ethic, and is super smart. But I just never know where he's going to land. He's trying to do sports cards and sneakers and resell stuff. And I'm trying to tell him, you know, give him different options of how to be a little bit more proactive about it. But he actually watched the video, which the short, it was a short, but hey, that's an accomplishment. So he actually watched it. He's like, you know, I think people are going to like this one because you're posting it with your face the way it is. And you didn't give up. And that's, one, made me happy that he recognized that. But two, you know, giving up is not an option. I mean, I'll give up when I die. And even then, I'll be fighting for every breath. Probably getting devoured by a shark or a wild animal. You know, I think about Steve Irwin. God, can't imagine passing in a way where a stingray takes you out. Just a freak accident. It's crazy. But his point is true. Many people would not be posting with their face looking like mine does. I mean, I had to walk through the airport like this. I had to walk through the national parks like this. Every place I went, people either looked at me with questions or horror, or just kind of thinking I would not be out in public if I looked like that. But I've got shit to do. I don't know what to tell you. And I can't let I can't worry about what you think about how I look. Stop me. I can't worry about how anyone thinks I look and let it stop me from accomplishing my goals. I don't have that much time left. Even if it is 40 or 50 more years, I'm half done. So that's what this is about. And just like showing my son, my daughter, my grandson, and any future grandkids I might have, what it takes to be successful. And now they can watch this forever. It'll be on YouTube as long as YouTube exists. And I'll always have the files. So, hello, it's Grandpa. Pop. Anyway, it's amazing the world we live in. It's amazing the opportunities we have. And it's equally as amazing that the main qualifier of how to take advantage of those opportunities is just tenacity and hard work. I mean, I hear that, I think, and there is no and. If you continue to do work, you'll get better, you'll make higher quality content, and people will appreciate it more later on. But you're learning, kind of like a internship or an apprenticeship. But you can't stop, and that's the hard part, because I have stopped a couple of times, and you might stop a couple of times. And once you lose that momentum, it's easy to make excuses why you can't get it back. And it's easy to put off today what you think you could just do tomorrow. You just think, I'll do it later. Later never comes sometimes. So you don't want to be in that situation. Oh, I gotta wrangle the dog in. Hello. How are you guys doing?
Good, how are you?
Good?
Come on, support. That's it.
All right, so that's kind of it for today. So really hitting the social media platforms hard. You can check, I'll leave some links maybe in the description for a couple of the shorts if you want to see them, or you just if you click on my channel and go up to shorts, you have the whole list there. You can see which thumbnail kind of excites you, and you can click on that. Some of them are 30 seconds. But if you're liking the content, watching the content, if you could give me a thumbs up, possibly hit subscribe if you haven't already. And if you have a question, ask it. I'll answer it as quickly as I can. But that really helps the channel grow, and I appreciate your continued support, and I hope you're finding value in it. And until tomorrow, we'll talk to you guys soon. Have a great one. Bye-bye. This is where I experiment. If you want to see the real side of the journey and some exciting destinations along the way, subscribe now and follow along. Don't miss the next video. Hit subscribe.